Okay, so how useful are lists if you can't add and remove data from them automatically? The answer is not very. So in this lecture, we're going to go over how to add and remove data from lists, and you're also going to learn how to use the in keyword to check whether something is in your data or not. To illustrate these points, we're going to create a rather ridiculous security program. This program, called Travis, is going to have a list of known users, and every time it runs, it's going to ask for your name. If you are in the list of known users, it will welcome you and ask if you want to be removed from the list. If it doesn't recognize you, it will ask if you would like to be added to the list. Now, this is the most ridiculous security program ever, but it will let us illustrate how to do some pretty cool things with Python lists. So by the end of this lecture, you're going to know how to add and remove items from your Python lists, as well as check whether certain pieces of data are in your lists or not. You're also going to know how to combine all of this with logical if statements to control your code. And on top of all of that, you're going to have built an utterly useless program and hopefully had a few laughs. What's not to love? So let's get cracking. Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to do is create a new script. I'm going to call mine travis.py because Travis is the name of our security robot. So let me just go to the desktop here, Python Bible, travis.py, and click enter. Maximize the screen, and fabulous, we are good to go. Right, so the first thing we're going to want is a list of known users. So let's create that first. Known users equals Alice, Bob, Claire, Dan, Emma, Fred, Georgie, and Harry. Okay, so there's our list of known users. And there's quite a few of them, right? If we wanted to know how many there were, we could just print the length using len of known users. Now, when I save and run that, we're going to see it tells us 8 because there are indeed 8 users in this list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The length function basically tells you the amount of elements in your iterable. So that's a handy trick to what you're going to want to keep hold of. Okay, now I'm going to cheat a little bit to make Travis a lot more functional by using something that I haven't actually introduced you to all that much yet. So I'm going to type here while true and type a colon, then go on to the next line. Now this is going to create what's called a while loop. Now don't worry about this for now, as we're going to cover loops properly in the next section of the course. But in summary, this line here is going to basically make whatever we type inside of the while loop run over and over and over and over forever. Okay, next I'm going to make Travis introduce himself. So I'm just going to type in here print, hi, my name is Travis. Okay, now we want to ask the user's name and store that somewhere. So as a quick micro challenge, try and use what you've learned about user input to ask the question, what is your name? And store the answer in a variable called name. Pause the video now and have a go, then come back here to see how you did. So how'd you get on? Well, I'd have done it like this. I'd have just typed name equals input, using the input function, what is your name, like that. And just for extra security, I'm going to put the strip function at the end in case the user accidentally enters a space. So if you got that, well done. You're definitely learning something from the course, right? And you've internalized all this information. So now we're going to want to check whether that name is in the list of known users or not. So for that, we're going to need some logic. So let me introduce you to the in Python keyword. I'm just going to jump over to the regular old Python shell, and I'm going to make a list called L, and I'm going to put in that 152, L equals 152629. Okay, now using the in keyword, we can tell whether something is in something else. So if I type 2 in L, we're going to get true because the number 2 is in L. Now how cool is that, right? That's quite nice. If I did 10 in L, it's going to give us false because 10 isn't in L. So we can use these in conditions in our program. By the way, this is like a superpower when you compare it to how you'd have to do this in other programming languages. So just trust me on that. It's ridiculous in other languages. So we're going to need an if statement. Let's go back in here. We've got their name, right? And we want to check if that name is in our list of known users. All we have to do, if name in known users. Okay, then we do something. We would print let's say name recognized. Yeah, and if it's not, we just need to type else print name not recognized. So let's save and run and test that. Okay, so let's say I come in, it says what is your name? I type in Alice because Alice is in the list, and it says name recognized. Then the loop makes the program start again. So what is your name? And let's say I put in Z, and it says name not recognized. So now we've got a way, just using the simple in keyword, that the program can ask us for a name and it can check whether that name is in the list or not, which is brilliant. So one thing that I want to show you is Alice with a capital A work correctly, right? Now, you know that strings are case sensitive. So watch what happens if I just type in Alice in lowercase. It's going to say the name isn't recognized because Alice in all lowercase isn't in the list, but Alice with a capital A is. So we need to fix that somehow and allow our user to pretty much enter their name however they like. So we're going to do that next. But by the way, if you want to stop a loop running, you hold Control and C, and that's going to cancel the loop. I mean, this isn't a problem. It just says keyboard interrupt. I just stopped the loop working. So let's head back on over to our script. And now I want to see whether you can remember, how do you make the first letter of a string capitalized? Now, you may have guessed that we use the capitalize method, right? So what I'm going to do, if you did, by the way, that's fantastic. What we're going to do is when the user inputs their name, we're first of all going to strip off any white space, and then we're going to capitalize it. So you can see here that we've got one function, we've used a method on it, then we've used another method on that, and you can just stick on, like, methods after methods after methods, as long as they're all the same data type, by just using the dot method, and stuff like that. It doesn't matter how many you have. So now we're stripping off the white space and capitalizing it. So if I save and run it, we're going to see that if I type in Alice with a capital A, that works. It says name recognized. But if I type Alice with a lowercase a, it's also going to say name recognized, because internally it is saving the name as capital A, and then it's checking that. So we've given our user some more flexibility, which is nice and cool. So as this video is getting a bit long, I'm going to cut it here, and we're going to continue building Travis in the next video. So I'll see you there. Hello there, you beautiful people, and welcome back to this video where we're going to continue building Travis, the ridiculous security system. So at the minute, we have a computer program that can ask a user for their name, strip off any white space, capitalize the name, and then check if that is in a list of known users. But at the minute, we kind of print out these very formal name recognized or name not recognized messages, right? And Travis isn't like that. Travis is very polite. So we want Travis to be able to say, hello, so-and-so, if their name is recognized. And for that, we're going to use string formatting. So as a micro challenge to you, I want you to go ahead and write some code that's going to print out the message, hello Alice, or hello Bob, or hello Emma, or whatever their name that they enter might be, as in this if statement here. So only if they are a known user. So pause the video now and print out to the screen a string that says hello, whatever their name is, using string formatting, and come back to see how you did. So how'd you get on? Was it all right? Well, this is the way that I'd have gone about it. I'd have deleted this ugly message here and typed print. Then inside here, I type hello, space, some blank, exclamation mark, then format inside that blank space their name. So the user's name is going to go in this blank space. So if they entered Alice, it would say hello Alice, or if it was Claire, hello Claire, or whatever it may be. So if you got that, or you managed to get the same functionality, then well done. You're honestly learning so much from this course, and I'm really proud of you now that you're applying these really complicated concepts. It's amazing. So now that we've replaced our ugly name recognized with a nice welcoming message, we want to ask the user whether they'd like to be removed from the database, because at the end of the day, Travis is pretty ridiculous. So let's create a variable called remove and ask them, using the input function, would you like to be removed from the system? Okay, and I'm actually going to put in y/n there so they can see that they've got to enter yes/no. Okay, so what that's going to do is the user is going to type in yes or no, right? Now, if we want to check whether they entered yes or a y, one way we could do it is this. We could have another if statement in here, and we could type if remove equals y, or remove equals capital Y, right? Because if they enter a lowercase y, this will be true. Or if they enter an uppercase y, this will be true. Then the whole condition will be true because we used an or statement. And then the code, whatever we put in here, is going to run. But that's kind of a bit ugly, right? Like before, I'm actually going to use the lower string method on here. So no matter what they enter, if they enter an uppercase y or a lowercase y, we're going to convert it to lowercase and save that in remove. So now all I have to do is just check if remove is lowercase, because we've already converted it to lowercase up here. We just have to check whether it's the lowercase y. So now inside of here, I'm going to want to remove the name from the list. Now there's a neat way to do this using the remove list method. Now list methods work exactly the same way as string methods, it's just they are for lists. So all we've got to do, if they want to be removed, we do known users dot remove name. It's as simple as that. That's how you remove someone from a list. So this is an excellent example of how Python makes something that could be incredibly complicated so simple and easy to read. This is going to remove the first occurrence of the name from the list. So bear in mind that we're going to remove the name. So say if there was Alice and Alice and Alice, if we just did remove Alice, it would only remove one of them. It would remove the first one that it found. So that's something you need to bear in mind. So this code is only going to work for us as long as the name occurs once. If it occurs more than once, you might need to use a loop to repeat the remove process as many times as necessary, but we'll save that discussion for another day. So let's just check this is working by printing out the list before and after the removal. So in here, I'm going to print the list. And down here, I'm going to print the list as well. Let me just get rid. Is there anything else I need to remove? Yeah, I just want to get rid of this bit up here where we print the length of the list. We don't need that. So let me just run this. It's going to say, hi, my name is Travis. What is your name? I'm going to say Alice. Hello, Alice. So our string formatting worked. Would you like to be removed from the system? Let's click yes. Okay. So at the beginning, we've got Alice, Bob, Claire, and that's what it was at the beginning. Then we removed it and we printed out the list again, and you can see that Alice has disappeared. So that's fantastic. We've managed to remove Alice from the system as we wanted. So now sometimes instead of deleting a specific value, let me just cancel the program here. Sometimes instead of deleting a specific value, you want to delete a specific index or a certain slice of indexes from a list. So for that, you'd use the del keyword. At the minute, we've searched for the value Alice and deleted Alice. Maybe we just want to delete index 1 or index 2 without really knowing what that value is. So for that, as I said, we need the del keyword. So if we create a list called L, and I create, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Let's say I want to delete the first index. For that, I'd use del L of 0. Okay, and that's just going to remove that from there. So L is going to be here. So I can't do L.remove 1 because I didn't know, hypothetically, that 1 was in the list. Okay, if I didn't know what the value was, I just wanted to get rid of the index, whatever was there, then I would use the del keyword. If I knew specifically what I wanted to delete, then I would use the remove keyword. Another reason to use del is because, do you remember when I said that the remove keyword only removes the first instance? So let's say if I had something like, let's call this list example, and I had A, B, C, A, and A, and B. Let's do that. Okay. If I do example.remove A, and I look at example again, it's only got rid of the first one, right? But A is still here. So let me recreate it. What if I wanted to get rid of this one? Well, I know that that is at index 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I would use del example 3. And that now, if I show example, has gotten rid of that A right there. So it gives you a bit of flexibility on how you want to remove things. So this is definitely a useful keyword you're going to want to keep in your back pocket. Oh, and by the way, yes, you can delete slices using the del keyword. So example at the minute is ABCB. So let's see if I wanted to get rid of just the first two elements. What I could do is del example 0 to 2. So because 2 is here, we want to go up to there. That's going to cut from there backwards. And now if we look at example, you can see that we've only got CB left. So you can cut out slices as well. Okay, so we're nearly there. I mean, let's just go back to see what we've done. We've currently got a list of known users. The computer is going to say hello, very politely, or good old Travis, and it's going to ask the user for their name, strip off any white space, and capitalize it so that we can compare it with everything else in our database. Now, if the name is in our list of known users, we're going to print hello, so hello that name. So if their name was Bob, hello Bob, and then ask them if they'd like to be removed from the system. And if they enter yes, say they enter it in whatever case, it's going to be turned to lowercase, and that's going to be saved in remove. If remove is lowercase y, meaning that they entered yes, then we're going to basically remove the list of, we're going to remove that name from our list of known users. And I'm just going to get rid of this this printing because that was just for demonstration purposes. So we're nearly there. All we've got to do now is we have to see if their name isn't in the list of known users, right? So if they are an unknown person, we want to say that we don't know them and ask if they'd like to be added to the list. So we're going to save that for the next lecture because this one's also getting a bit long. And I'll see you in the next video to finish up our work with Travis. Hello there, you beautiful people, and welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to finish off building Travis. So we're nearly there. We've just got to do something if the person isn't recognized. Well, first of all, because Travis is a very polite security system, we're going to get rid of this ugly message that says name not recognized. And we're going to put something a bit more friendly. So I'm going to make it say, I don't think I have met you yet. Then put that in there, the name. So if their name is Dan, I don't think I've met you yet, Dan. Now that's much better. So we then need to ask them whether they would like to be added to the list. So let's do that with an input statement. I'm going to create a variable called addMe equals input. Would you like to be added to the system? Tell them yes and no with the options, question mark, thing like that. We're just going to, I'm actually going to go up here and add a strip and lowercase, and then down here add a strip and lowercase. So now we've basically going to get the person's input. If they enter Y, it's going to, that means they want to be added to the list. So now we need an if statement to check for that. So if addMe equals Y, now we just need to add them to the list in here. Okay, so I'd like to show you how to do that. The way that we can add people to a list is use the append list method. So let me show you how we do that. We just type known users dot append that name. And it's as simple as that. The append method is going to take whatever you put inside of it. In this case, let's say it was, I don't know, John, right? If their name was John, we're going to append John to the end here. So let me show you that in example. We print the known users before we append, and we're going to print it after. Now let's save and run the code. And we're going to see, my name is Travis, what is your name? Let's say John. I don't think I've met you yet, John. Would you like to be added to the system? Let's say yes. We can see at the beginning that John isn't in the list. Then we append him, and he comes right to the end here. So that's how you can append names to, or append any item to a list in Python. So we're pretty much there, you guys. Let me just go and have a look at this code again to make a few finishing touches. So I'm going to first get rid of this whole print thing that I just used to display the point to you. Then we're going to get rid of that. Okay. Now let's say they enter no to any of these things. So let's say if remove is yes, then remove them. Else, if remove is no, then print no problem. I didn't want you to leave anyway. Okay, so that's the first one, giving him something nice to say, and then we can just down here, elif add me equals no, then known users, oh no, not known users, print no worries, see you around. And that is pretty much it, you guys. Now, the cool thing, because I've got it in, let's cancel this. The cool thing, because I've got it in this while loop, it's going to continue to run over and over and over again. So let me show you what happens. My name is Travis. What's your name? Z is my name. I don't think I've met you yet, Z. Would you like to be added to the system? Yes. Hi, my name is Travis. Now, if I enter my name again, right? Hello, Z. Would you like to be removed from the system? Let me say yes. Hi, my name is Travis. What is your name? Let's say Z again. So you can see the way the list is updating on each loop of the program, which is amazing because now we're keeping a data structure, or pretty much a database, isn't it, really, that is being continually updated and kept in the computer's memory that we can do with whatever we want. And it contains more than one piece of data. So I hope you can see just how powerful that is. So I'm just going to click no here. No worries, see you around. And that's the end of that.